Hi, I'm Sean Coakley, a founding member here at Calibre Biometrics. I'm also the Chief Evangelist at the company, and today I'd like to take you through a journey of walking through what you receive in the mail when you get your Calibre device, and also taking you through an unboxing and a best practices utilization series of getting the most out of your device by understanding the nuances of the use and how to practically set up everything for the best possible results.
So, okay, as you can see, we switched screens, and now we're going to dig into the box itself and give you an inside look at what comes when it's delivered into the mail. So as I take off the top here, I'm going to move this over to the side. You'll see that you're immediately met by a welcoming piece of paper here with a QR code. Scanning that QR code will put you into a PDF of instructions to tell you exactly how to do what I'm about to verbally walk you through. So moving that aside as well, we can see the contents of the box. First, you're going to get this nice gray mesh bag, which I'll open up in just a few moments, which has strapping assemblies and some accessories. As you look underneath that, you get access to the mask portion of the device itself. And at the top of the box in this slot, you get the proprietary Calibre Biometrics cable, which is actually a very important piece of equipment. You do not want to lose this, and you do not want to replace this with third-party USB cable, so please do not lose that. Underneath that, the component of the device where all the magic happens, this is the module itself. You'll see at the bottom of the module is the charging port where you'll plug that charging cable into, and on the front of this is the LED button, which is how you operate and start to utilize the device once it's fully charged. So let me move this box out of the way now, and we can dig in a little bit to what's going to happen here when you take apart or unzip this mesh bag. Inside the mesh bag, you have a couple strapping assemblies. First is what I call my version of the traditional strapping assembly, which is a baseball style strapping assembly that helps the device go onto the top of your head. We also include a silicone strapping assembly, which is a little bit tighter fit, a little bit more for the athletic types so the device doesn't move around when you have it on your head. And we also include these tiny little, easy to lose USB-C dust portal covers. These go into the charging port of the device itself, and they're very important because you want to use these USB-C covers when you're not charging the device and also when you're using the device. So do not lose these, keep them aside. If you have to ever replace them, they're very cheap on Amazon, and we have that link on our website. So let's move into the next scene, which is going to be me putting together the strapping assemblies, and we'll see you when we get there.
Okay, so now on to some important stuff. As you can see, I'm holding the module in my hand, and I'm holding it with the LED button, which does depress manually. You will be able to feel a depression when you push on this button. We're going to start charging the device so we can get moving on to putting the actual mask together. Very important when you put this module together that I said you use the actual Calibre cable. It comes with a Velcro tie to it that has the Calibre brand on it, so it's easy to spot and locate. So again, make sure you do not lose this or put this aside. When you utilize this plug, I want you to make sure that you use a standard charging USB charging block to plug it in, and plug it into a wall outlet, not into an accessory device like a laptop or a backup power charger. The device is sensitive to the amount of currency that's going into it with our cable, so we have to ensure that you use a power outlet in the wall to plug into with a charging block. Once I put this in just a moment, you will see a flashing light. Now you will see that the light itself is pulsing. Typically when you take the device out of the box, this will be charging for anywhere between a half hour to a couple hours, depending on the delivery time and so forth. So wait until the LED is fully charged and it will hold solid state. It'll stop blinking and it'll be solid state. So I'm not going to wait the whole time for that to happen here on camera. So I hope that you could understand that this will stop blinking basically and be solid white when it's done charging. When the device is done charging and the LED is solid state, you could then unplug the cable. At this stage, I want to remind everyone it is very important to take these very small USB-C dust cover plugs, silicone. They're soft and you can mush them a little bit, and turn to the charging port, and then I want you to place this plug and press it firmly into the device. So that way the USB-C hole is covered and protected. And as you can see, it's easy to take out and easy to put back in. Very simple. All right, so let's get into the good stuff. And sometimes probably the hardest part of using the caliber in general, which is putting this baseball style strapping assembly together. So be patient with me. I'm going to walk you through this slowly and carefully to make sure that you don't make any mistakes, because it will get frustrating if you weave the whole thing through and realize you did it incorrectly when you get to the finished product. So first thing to notice here is that when you look at this strapping mechanisms itself, there is an R right here stamped onto the strap assembly. That's the right side of the strap. And there is an L, if you can see this here, stamped onto the left side of the strapping mechanism. What I'm going to do is I'm going to place the right-hand side strap on top of the left-hand side strap, so these holes align with some of these buttons. And I'm just going to use 4 of these buttons because that's the size that I personally use for the caliber. And I'm going to snap that together like you would any baseball-style hat that you might own. Now, unpacking the strap itself, I already unpacked one, so I'm going to move this strap off to the side that's in the bag. I am going to pick up and show you that on this strap itself is a Calibre logo. Make sure I can get this into focus. It is facing left to right, and I could read it in an upright position. That is important because that's how you're going to align the strap as you start to weave this through the mask and the strap assembly itself. So if I flip over my mask, and I put this side, the right-hand side of the mask versus the left-hand side. I'm going to start on the right-hand side of the mask to strap this assembly together. So as you can see, I'm holding the Calibre strap. I flip over the mask, and on the right-hand side, I see this little port, which is used for strapping the cable. When I take the Velcro apart from the strap, and I have the Velcro component here on the backside, I'm going to loop this through so the logo is facing down, and the strapping component to the Velcro is facing up. I push it through, and I simply fold this back over the top to get the Velcro together, and now I have a seal. It's firmly in place, and the right side of the mask is successfully put together. Now, let's get to the tricky part. So I'm going to put this mask facing downward, and as you can see, the logo is going with it, and I'm going to hold on to the strap so I don't lose or bind the strap as I work to get through the actual baseball component of the strapping mechanism itself. If you heard on the left-hand side of the screen there, I just undid the Velcro portion of the left-hand side, but I'm going to be using the right-hand side piece of the assembly, and I am going to start weaving my strap through this assembly. Very important that you follow along here. So as I bend this, you'll see that this makes a loop, and I'm still holding the right side over here, and the left side is over on the left. I'm going to let go of the left. I'm going to hold the right-hand side with my left hand, and I am going to start weaving this strap through the assembly. In order to do that, I'm going to start from the bottom side and go into the first hole with the R still reading left to right. I'm going to start on the farthest hole to the right, and I'm going to go upward through that hole with the Velcro component facing out and the label facing in. So you can see the label is facing me. This Velcro component is facing out. I loop that up through. I do a 180-degree turn, and I put it through the second hole here. I pull down to give myself some slack. I come up through the third hole and do a 180-degree turn, and I come back down through the fourth hole. Now, what we just achieved is you'll see the strap is showing twice on the outside of the strapping mechanism. And if I turned it to inside, you'll notice that inside here, the strap is protruding on the back side of the 2 center holes. That's important for comfort because when you fold this device and eventually put the caliber on your head, you want this soft cloth portion of the strap to be touching your skull, not the hard plastic itself. Now, in this bent position, I am going to turn 90 degrees to my left, and I'm going to take the strap that was looped through, and you're going to see I have the Calibre logo facing upward and to the right, and we're going to work our way through the left side. So here on this strap, you'll see I'm working, this is the back side that it came through. I'm going to pull some slack through this, so I get a little extra strap to work with. I'm going to bend down the left side, so now you'll see the L is actually facing in, and in the opposite direction that you would normally read a letter in. This is where we're going to start strapping. We're going to do the exact same thing we did on the right-hand side. So we are going to come from underneath the strap You're going to see that the logo is facing the left and the Velcro is facing the right. I'm going to come up through the back hole, pull some slack through, 180-degree turn down to the second hole, pull this down through, loop this back up one more time, and our final fourth hole, I'm going to come back down, and now we have negotiated the strapping mechanism through the left-hand side. So now if I assemble this a little bit for you, I'm going to put the mask out here as if you were wearing it on your face. So now the right-hand side is aligned with the right-hand portion of the mask. I'm going to take the left-hand strap, rotate the mask so I have this port available to me on the left-hand side of the mask itself. I'm going to put the baseball assembly, if you will, down on my desk. And I'm going to take, with the logo facing down, I'm going to put that through this hole in the hard plastic, pull through, and simply loop back and compress the Velcro against the cloth. Now you'll see reading left to right, the Calibre logo is available, and reading as if you would be able to read a book. At this stage, the basic assembly is done, and I'm going to put it in this position to show you, because this is how the device is going to eventually be moved and put onto your face for utilization. And I will go through that part of the process in the next video.
All right, everybody, now that we put the strapping assembly together, we're going to move over to the phone and we're going to download the app from the App Store on my iPhone. It's available on Android as well. So I'm going to transition my screen here so you can see my iPhone live on the video. I already had it open to my App Store, so you know where to find your App Store on your phone. And I'm going to type in Calibre Biometrics here. I'll spell it out for you as I do. It's CALIBRE space biometrics, BIOMETRICS. As I hit search, you'll see immediately Calibre Biometrics will come up at the top. You'll see our hexagonal logo. It's easy to locate. I've already downloaded this app, so mine says open, but yours would say install. So I'm going to hit open. If you're installing it, it obviously would come down based on the speed of your Wi-Fi connectivity. Once you download the app and you locate it on your phone, you're going to come over and tap on the app itself, and you're going to open it and come to this screen. Now here's our beautiful little reminder that shows you, as I said in the previous portions of this video, don't wear your device just yet because you have to charge the device until it's fully charged. So we're still waiting for that to happen. So while that's happening, I'm going to hit the continue button that's highlighted in orange at the bottom third of your screen. And we are going to go to the create account page or login page. Both look identical. If you could see at the bottom underneath the blue bar where it says continue, it says if you do not have an account, you click that to sign up for account. I'm just going to tap that so you see what it looks like. It adds a third box on the screen, which is asking for you to create a username. Now that's up to you, your personal choice. You're going to also have to put in your email address and create a password. But since I've already done that, I'm going to simplify this. I'm going to tap on the login right below the blue continue button, and I'm going to log into my account, which I have already downloaded onto my phone. I'm going to type in my password. Passwords are case sensitive in our system. Okay, so I am now in the app itself. And as you see, I'm on a welcoming screen here, and the word continue in gray is highlighted as the bar below it in orange progresses from left to right, loading the app itself. Once we do that, you'll see the screen change and you will come up to a welcome page, which says Calibre on the top, and below says start measuring, and where I'll have to connect my device to the app itself, or I could view the app. Just for the moment, I'm going to hit view app just to show you how the transition occurs. So I'm going to tap view app, and you will see it immediately moves me over inside of the app. Now, I have used my app before, so you would see a clear screen, but these are some of the previous recorded sessions that I've done. Let's ignore that for now. As I tap at the bottom menu, you'll see I highlighted dashboard in orange. I'm now going to tap recording on the bottom on orange. Whichever one you tap is highlighted in orange. The other choices at the bottom home menu are grayed out. You'll see the app is telling you that the device is not connected, which is understandable because we have not fully charged the device yet, but we are going to do that in the next step here. And I'm going to walk you through connecting your device to the app itself.
Okay, everybody. So now that we downloaded the app onto our phone, we're going to go back to grabbing our module, which already had a solid LED, so I unplugged it from the wall. If you remember, we always want to put the USB cover into the charging port. So I did that. I'm going to remember to do that every single time to protect that port. And now I'm going to get prepared to connect the device to the phone. Before I show you my phone on screen, I'm going to show you that in order to get this connected, we are going to tap on this LED button just once, and the light is going to start to blink. So let me do that once. The light is blinking. That means that the device is advertising looking to connect to a phone. So I'm going to press this button again one more time, and I'm going to show you how to stop it from blinking if you wanted to put it back to sleep really quick. So if I want to turn this back off and put it into sleep mode so I don't lose the battery, I'm going to press this LED light and hold it pressed for 3 seconds, and you will see the light diffuse and fade away. At this stage, I've just put the battery to sleep basically, so I'm going to preserve the power of the battery. I just wanted to show you that really quick before we connect the device. But let's get back to connecting. So I'm going to tap this one more time. You'll see that the light comes right back to life. And now I am going to switch screens, and I'm going to move over to my phone. So you should see my phone on the screen now, and I'm going to open up my phone. I'm going to go to my Calibre app here, and I am going to let it get loaded. And now you will see the familiar screen that we saw earlier, which is Start Measuring or View App. I am going to click on Start Measuring. Make sure before you do this that your Bluetooth is turned on inside of your phone. So go to your settings and turn on your Bluetooth. Make sure it is up and running so the device can get recognized. I am going to hit the Start Measuring button this time. And I'm going to make sure that my device is still advertising here. Now, you're going to see the first message that comes up is asking you if you want to calibrate the device. I'm going to get into the details of the calibration process at a later time. So right now, I'm actually going to skip that, and I'm going to go right into the app itself. So this is what you'll see, and this is showing you that the device itself automatically connected. My module is paired to my phone inside of the app, and it is standing by waiting for my breath to be detected. At this stage, I would then want to connect my module to my mask, which I'll show you in just a moment, and start to breathe into the mask itself to start to create some data so the app will know that I'm using the device and creating and starting a session. So I'm going to put myself back on screen here, and I'm going to start that process for you. So I'm going to sit side by side with my phone. I'm going to grab my mask here. At this stage, I am going to take my module, which is already connected to my app again, with the holes facing down. So if you see these holes at the bottom of the mask here, let me get this oriented properly. The holes are on the bottom. Those holes are always going to face in a downward direction when I snap the module into this mask itself. So, and it's takes a little bit of pressure to push this module in. So I'm going to take my fingers on both sides of this mask, and I am going to snap the module into the device. Now you'll see it's tight in there. It's not going to fall apart, and the mask is now ready to put on. So I'm going to change my view here and look into my camera, and I'm going to reset my straps to the comfort fit that I already know I have. I'm going to put this onto my face. And again, I'm going to talk fit nuance later. As you could hear, my voice has changed slightly. I'm slightly muffled at this stage. And I'm going to transition back over to my phone right now. So I'm going to pull that up front and center onto my screen as I show you that the breath data is now being collected. You'll now see the progress bar tracking percentage across from left to right. It takes a few seconds for it to process its way through as it's starting to read the data of your inhales and your exhales. So we're just waiting here. And I'm talking a little bit, so it's taking a little bit longer than it normally would because I'm not just being quiet and breathing. So we're already up to 88%. Boom, we get to 100%. And now, here we go. We see the home screen. So this is the dashboard, and this is considered our live dashboard. And you'll see it's already generating and showing data from the top to the bottom. Some of these metrics that you're looking at are live, meaning second to second, it's capturing and reporting and showcasing those changes on your screen. Some of the data is computationally collected over the first minute or two of breathing into the device. So at the bottom of this dashboard screen, you'll see the charts for fat burn and carb burn. It takes about a minute or two for us to get enough molecular data going across the sensors, and you just saw that now. We are now projecting and showcasing all of the data. So the live moment-to-moment data, things like breath rate and breath volume, those are things we capture every second and report those changes immediately. Things like fat burn and carb burn and respiratory exchange rate, those things are calculated on the back end and sometimes need a little bit more data to be able to highlight those inside of the app. From here, I'm going to push pause. The goal of this was to show you how to get it connected and what it looks like when the data starts streaming. In a few moments, I'm going to go into more detail on how to use the app itself, but for now, let's just agree that we got the device connected and we're ready to start using the device and recording a session. Okay, so putting the app aside for a moment, and we will get to using the device, but first we have to do two very important things. We have to look at the fit of the device and how we actually wear it on our face so we can get the best results. And secondly, I want to talk you through the unique calibration process that we have with our device, because it is different than other metabolic carts out there in the world. So first, let's talk about fit. If you have experience with other metabolic carts, or if you've ever worn a mask to do a respiratory test or a VO2 max test, the majority of systems out in the world have a over-the-nose mask. We have a mask that sits underneath your nose, and most other masks in the world require a very tight sealed fit to get the best data output. Calibre is different, and we're actually very unique in how we approach this. If you notice, the silicone on our mask is incredibly soft. It's soft on purpose because we want, when you breathe hard in this mask, this silicone actually inflates a little bit to create a little bit better seal. But we're a device where tight is not better, looser is better, but loose to the point where it's not falling off of your face. So let me kind of show you how I put my mask on and start to talk a little bit about how we get it to a point where it's sitting on your face properly so you're going to get the best data. So if I'm using this particular strap assembly, I usually just hang the device downward so you'll see it's bouncing and the nose portion is pointing away from me. I then simply lift this strap up, hold onto the mask, and I pull it over my head. And as I do, I adjust the mask so it's sitting underneath my nose. If I tip my face up, you'll notice I am not pushing my nose down through this hole. I don't need to. I just need to rest my nose in this, if you will, this could be your nose hammock. And you're just letting your nose sit on top of that portion of the mask. Now, one thing that's incredibly important about how tight you need it, you'll notice I have a lot of room in this mask. So if I press with my fingers against my face, I could take away all that space because of the softness of the silicone here. I want this seal with the portion of the mask that's touching your face to lightly touch your face, just enough so it's not falling off of your face. Now, if you have facial hair as well, it doesn't really matter if you have the device touching your skin. As long as it's not falling away from your face, our sensors have the ability to pick up the inhale and exhale that's coming through these holes in the hard portion of the mask itself. If I turn to the side here, I want you to just kind of see I'm not compressing the space out of the mask. It's very important, again, that that space inside of the mask is open and available for you to breathe through, because the sensors are sensitive to being able to pick up the inhale and exhale breath as they go through. So that's the basics of how it fit. Now, how you personally adjust these Velcro straps or how many numbers of snaps you use on top of your head, those are personal preferences. So when you first get the device, I want you to take your time and play around with these a little bit and assemble it so it gets a personal and customized fit to your head.
Okay, everybody, so here we are. We're going to wrap this up really quick. I hope at this point you understand a little bit more about our device and some of the nuances that are things you have to take into consideration when you're trying to get best results and create the best data while you're using your Calibre. So in summary, we've walked through the unboxing of the device itself, showed you all the parts and components that come with it. We've shown you how to put the device together, including the strapping mechanisms, the importance of the fit and how it feels on your face to create the best seal and best data while you're breathing into the device. We showed you how to set up and create an account, pull that down from the App Store on your phone and set up your credentials so you could access. And then we mapped you through our app a little bit to show you the ease of use and how simple it is to actually start getting data and start creating a recorded session. With all that being said, I want to direct your attention just over to our website, which is located at www.calibrebio.com. Hopefully you've already been there if you're watching this video. And I'm just going to highlight a couple quick areas. So in the upper left-hand corner of the website itself, you're going to see our social media icons. I'm going to suggest that you follow us on all those areas, and especially Instagram and YouTube, which are our primary modes of delivery at this point. We will progress into using more of them, but with a lean team, we're focusing on making sure we get as much information on at least 2 of the portals that are used primarily by most of our users. If I move over to the website and pull down the benefits tab over here, this is where we're going to continue to develop landing pages that speak to specific personality profile users of our device. So for example, if I click on athletes, there's going to be language on this landing page that speaks specifically to athletes on how they want to use the device, why they might want to use the device, and it's going to have suggestions of protocols on how to use the device. So if I scroll down this page, you're going to see, for example, that we created our own version of a VO2 Max protocol. Now, you could scan this with your phone using a QR scan code reader, and it'll show you our PDF, or you could download the PDF directly from this page, and you could read through the protocol itself. So I'm going to do that really quick here. I'm going to click here and see if I could do that. So there. Now you can see on your screen basically a write-up of our version of a VO2 Max protocol, which is slightly different than the standard VO2 Max protocol. I'm not going to go into the change of scenery or the limitations or how we do things differently than other metabolic carts. We'll do that in a separate video that highlights just specific information about VO2 Max protocol itself. But for now, I just want to show you how to navigate and explain to you how we're going to be building out the delivery of this communication messaging on our website to make it accessible by anybody, all of our users, and even people who don't use our device, so they can check out what we're doing. So for now, I'm going to stop there and keep it simple. I'm going to sign off. I'm going to wish you best of luck with using your device. Thank you for being part of our ecosystem, and we're open to having you give us feedback. So please don't hesitate to reach out to us. Give us all the feedback you can. Tell us what we're doing bad, what we're doing good, and help us make the product better over time. Hope to see you again real soon.